Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the BFA class review series. My name is Mr. Couchy, and I will lay out for you some of the changes affecting Holy Paladin going into battle for Azeroth. Although we are close to the end of beta, some of this is still subject to change, so don't take everything here set as law. Holy Paladins were numero uno in every situation during Legion. Needed burst healing? Got it. Need some sustained DR? Got it. Need some sweet damage? Got it. Stacking AoE healing? Got it! Some of you may see where this is going. If you're good at everything, something has to go. The artifact is one of the main sources of all your power throughout Legion, and with it going, so does your OPness. There were some general class ability changes to address some of the losses gains from your artifact weapon. Your base maximum health increase is now gone. Righteousness has been removed to offset the Light of the Martyr buffs gained from the weapon itself. Blessing of Sacrifice now reduces the damage you take by 25% instead of 30%, but had its cooldown reduced to 2 minutes. Divine Steed had its cooldown increased from 45 seconds to a minute across all Paladin specs. I guess we were just too damn fast. There was a slight but significant change to Aura of Sacrifice. Now, Aura of Sacrifice during Aura Mastery causes 30% of all damage to be redirected to you and reduced by 75%. It no longer works as a heal, but a strict 30% DR every time, assuming you're getting spam healed or rubble. Your favorite wings, Avenging Wrath, no longer increases all damage and healing done by 35%. You call upon the light to become an avatar of retribution, increasing your damage, healing, and critical strike chance by 20% for 20 seconds. Beacon of Light now only refunds 20% of the mana cost when directly healing with Flash of Light or Holy Light. Consecration had its cooldown changed from 9 seconds to 4.5 seconds with a limit of 1. This mainly affects Prot or Ret, but at least Holy can still put out some damage with it. Flash of Light had its cost changed from 18% of base mana to 20%, and Holy Light had its cost changed from 12 to 13. This leads to better decision making when using either spell instead of just Flash of Light spamming. Holy Shock had a nerf. It used to have double the normal crit chance. It now has an additional 25% crit chance, making you less reliant on crit and the Infusion of Light proc. With that, Infusion of Light has nerfed the healing increase of your next Flash of Light from 50% to 40%. Gonna take a bit to get used to this. More spamming, I guess, to compensate. Judgment has been reworked. You still throw a giant golden hammer at the target dealing some holy damage, but it now causes the target to take 30% increased damage from your next Crusader Strike or Holy Shock for 15 seconds. Light of Dawn, Light of the Martyr, and your Mastery all remain unchanged. So take a breath. It doesn't really amount to too much in terms of gameplay with all these changes, it just leads to more spamming of Holy Light. So let's move on to the talents. Beacon of Lightbringer and Fervent Martyr have been removed, no big deal. A few new talents have been added. Avenging Crusader replaces Avenging Wrath. You become the ultimate Crusader of Light, increasing your Crusader Strike, Judgment, and auto attack damage by 30%. Crusader Strike and Judgment cool down 30% faster, and when you deal damage with those abilities, you heal up to 3 injured allies for 250% of the damage done, and it lasts 20 seconds on a 1.5 minute cooldown. This talent is badass. It really fleshes out the Templar theme and heals like a monster when it's up. This one talent will keep Holy Pallies at the top of that burst damage healer priority. Awakening is Light of Dawn has a 15% chance to grant you Avenging Wrath for 10 seconds. It's the topless tower legendary that has been made into a talent. Yay? It's a little lackluster as it shares the same row as Avenging Crusader and Sanctified Wrath. Healers generally do not like RNG in their healing, and it just doesn't feel cool enough. Yes, cool is subjective, but wouldn't you rather bash some skulls and somehow heal through the power of morale boosting or some shit? Aura of Sacrifice, Beacon of Faith, and Beacon of Virtue had some number and wording changes, but nothing significant. Divine Purpose received a 5% buff, so if you like that feel, it will keep feeling you with joy. Holy Prism, Devotion Aura, Bestow Faith, Judgment of Light, and Light's Hammer just received some minor wording and number changes to fit the squish. So how does it feel? I mained a Holy Pally for most of Legion, and it was quite strong and effective in most scenarios. In dungeons, they are the reigning king, and in raids, were your go-to single-target healer. This will be unchanged going into BFA. The addition of the PvP talent Avenging Crusader feels really good, especially paired with Crusader's Might. Being able to still live out the battle healer fantasy and put up some decent burst single-target heals will still find Holy Paladin a much sought-after healer, both for raids and dungeons alike. How did you think Holy felt in Legion, and how do you think it will perform in BFA? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around, like and subscribe, and in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.